Welcome everyone to game number 1 in a best of 5 series. This is another best of 5 in the round of 16. Winner here will move on to face... Wait, who is it again? I should know this. Again,
I don't know it as well on the top of my head.
It's okay, Project Belgium. I'm a professional. I have all the tools I need. Because we just talked about this, did we not? It's like I'm having a brain fart all of a sudden. Where are they here? Ah, winner will move on to face Fire. That will be exciting. Slam has gone for the Celts, and Barles has gone for the Britons. Project Belgium, what do you think?
Well, I think these are two pretty closely matched civs. Maybe we'll even see some Hoang influence on the Celt player.
Yeah, Slam plays Hoang so frequently because when he plays, it's normally just Vietnamese pros online. So he calls him Hoang, by the way. He's like, Hoang. Hoang is online. So I'm kind of rooting for Slam here. He's such a fun guy, such a nice guy, and I feel like he probably has a better peak than Barles. But you had mentioned that maybe Barles is more in form right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that one.
Okay. So, Britons against Celts. You might have to get an early drush out yourself, right? If Celts want to drush. I'm really curious. I'm looking at the map. It's certainly wallable for both. See how this goes.
Yeah, you can already see that Slam is going for his typical Slam deers.
Yep.
He really likes to push those in.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, I think we definitely will see some sort of either militia or men-at-arm aggression.
Okay. Yeah, what Huang likes to do is build the barracks before the mill. I don't think a lot of other pros prefer that. I think they go for the mill first and then delay the barracks slightly. But because of the fact that Britons bring in sheep a little bit faster, you could justify going for a fast drush yourself if you want militia.
Yeah, exactly, because in theory you need like one less vill on sheep, so you could send that one earlier to wood, so that will also allow you to get the barracks out faster, because Celts do have the wood bonus, and with Britons you can sort of make up for that way.
I think we're going to see it too. I think Barles will make a... I think this villager that's making the house will then make a barracks. It would make sense that you would send the villager that... never mind. I don't know. We're just trying to guess at this point. Dude, both of these players, didn't they all play Hun Wars like, all the time at one point?
Yeah, true. Barles is also a big Hun player.
Yeah, because I see them both wanting to push the deer. Like Slam, he had to do it. And now Barles is even being greedier, not getting any scouting information, and he's pushing his second deer.
Yeah, and they're actually, if you look at the map, they're not that far away from each other.
Yeah.
So I think we will see a lot of aggression.
Okay.
I don't think anyone will go for a Drush FC.
Does Barles know about his other sheep? He does. He actually has fantastic scouting, considering the fact that he pushed in 2 deer. When he goes out to this boar, he'll bring in the sheep, I guess. And Slam has not built a barracks yet. Slam actually... Oh, he has to save his villager! Oh, he lost a villager! That's some of the rust that we had talked about. How did that happen? Damn. That's the first villager we've seen die to a boar in all of the qualifiers, actually. First one from Slam.
Yeah, that's sloppy, especially with the one hit you need.
Yeah.
It's so rare to see a villager die nowadays.
Yeah, you just need one hit to aggro the boar. I'm not looking for those types of things because you just don't expect it, but I got to Slam's base and I saw all these palisades and not MBL confirmed, right? I think MBL would have been able to save that villager there. The Slam couldn't do it, and now there's the barracks. So maybe now Slam does add some militia. You see the barracks for Barles as well. The timing on the barracks doesn't necessarily mean drush, though. I actually think it might mean man-at-arms.
Yeah. But I did see Slam take 20 gold from his mine.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's kind of weird.
Hey, you would normally take 10, and then you would drush.
Just forgot and sent another one.
Yeah, this is how I think this series is going to go, Belgium. I think Slam is going to show some real signs of rust in Game 1. Like, he just got online and hasn't been able to play a lot of practice games. And then Barles, he's probably going to be warmed up and ready to go. I think Slam is going to get stronger as the series goes on because he's that mechanically sound. So for Barles, I think that he will need to take advantage of the fact that Slam has had a sloppy start.
Yeah, exactly. Get some early wins in, get his confidence up as well. I think that will be good for him.
So it is a drush for Barles. Slam is going for man-at-arms. looked weird, and it's delayed, but he will go for Man-at-Arms. While we wait for that, Belgium, how were your nerves when you played Rubenstock? Because I know, like, you're not necessarily playing live, which might help a little bit, but how were your nerves going into that set?
I would say I was a little bit nervous for the start of the first game, but after that, I was not nervous at all.
Okay.
Because I used to be a lot more nervous in tournaments in the past, but just having that experience from playing a lot of tournaments really helps.
Yeah, I think I could see that. Barles he hasn't played many tournaments frequently, so maybe he will be feeling some nerves, but this is ideal for Barles, isn't it? Take out the Celt Militia before their Man-at-Arms, and then go feudal behind it. This is pretty good for Barles. I don't think Slam is going to be very happy with his position at all. He even lost his scout there.
Yeah, exactly. That's really important to keep your scout alive. But we do see Slam pulling in some Vils forward.
Pulling Vils forward. Yep, here they come. Now, he's expecting Drush Fast Castle from Barles. And so he's going forward to tower. I don't think that's what Barles is going for here, because he's going to feudal age so quickly after this. The whole idea of what Barles just did there for the people watching is it's to cancel out that Man-at-Arms rush. Engage versus the militia before they're upgraded. It's exactly what he did. And now if Slam comes forward, Barles might follow it up with some archers and be in a good position to counter any type of a forward. I think Slam is kind of in no man's land right now.
Yeah, I do agree. Like, Slam probably thought he was going for the Drush FC, so he knew that, okay, I have to do damage.
Yeah.
Barles just went for the FC, and now he will have enough time to react. And I really like his walls. You know, it's a tournament, so you have to play safe. And he went for the big walls, and it's paying off for him.
Yeah. Slam adding some big walls behind this. It's just really poor for your economy to have 4 villagers forward and placing towers like this. And I don't think Barles is going to have too many complaints. I can say this is the best Drush into Archers build I've ever seen. I feel like the Leary, the Vipers of the world would probably have been up to feudal and on ranges a bit faster than Barles, but he's safe, and that's all that matters right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like Slam, he might break in, but I don't really see him doing anything after that.
Yeah. Well,
he did make a range at home, and he's producing some skirmishers.
Okay.
So he's trying to anticipate the archers from Barrels.
Yeah.
So let's see how that works.
I really feel like what is good for Slam, because initially I pointed out that Slam aimlessly walked forward to build a random tower, but Barles pulled so many vills to wall. He had like 5 villagers walling, and he built his own tower, which is a good tower, don't get me wrong. And so I do feel like, yes, Slam's tower rush probably won't accomplish too much here, and it's getting a bit dangerous. It's also been a bit of an overreaction for Barles, possibly.
Yeah, true. And I would like to see Barles use his scout a bit more active, like he's just keeping it in the back. I would probably send it forward and just see what kind of buildings Slam has.
Okay.
To see if it's 1 range, 2 range, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's also open on the right, so he could run out there and see. The scout could also be very useful against some skirms. But I think this is where Slam might have had some jitters. He lost the boar. This is where Celt Eco can carry you a little bit with the faster lumberjacks. And so you'll see the farms come up for Slam. The skirms are still coming out. There's really no risk that he's going to be troubled for now until the archers sneak, or if the archers sneak.
He's fully walled. He knows he can't really do damage. So the best thing for him is to drop down a lot of farms and get to the Castle H as soon as he can.
I don't know. So I have you pumped up as far as I can do on Discord. Some people are still saying you're a little bit low. Is it possible to maybe right-click your profile and just boost your mic a little bit? I'd say about maybe 10, 20%.
Yes, I can do that. Is it in Discord that I have to do it?
Yeah, I think you click the settings wheel and then do it. I don't think it's really that big of an issue if it's too much of a headache for us. But in the meantime, I'll talk about how Slam...
Is this better?
Oh, yes, it is better.
or is it way too loud now?
No, I think that's good. It scared me. It was like I felt like God was summoning me from the heavens for a second. But all right, Belgium, you're loud enough, and this is the time for it because both players are building towers. I'm surprised Slam even got to the point where he could build these towers, but he got fletching really fast on the skirms. And alright, he bails.
Yeah, I think both of them are in a safe position. Like, yes, Slam got a couple of towers in, but he didn't really achieve much. And at home he's safe, and yeah, Barles is still safe.
Okay. So,
maybe Slam could go around and try and pressure the stone from Barles, because if I look at this map, all of his stones are outside.
it's a good point. What do you think about Barles adding a stable? He's adding a stable to maybe make a scout or two for the skirms. That's an interesting move. Also, Barles knows exactly where Slam's stone are. He might get right behind that Slam. He doesn't have any skirmishers even patrolling there.
Yeah, that's actually true. Yeah, with like 1 or 2 scouts, he could clean up those skirms, and if he gets a forward tower up on Slam, that takes away both of his stones, and a Briton without stone, that means no castle, no disease, or he could buy them, but yeah, definitely that would be a good move for him.
Well, Slam sniped a Vil with the skirms. It's just like Slam to run in here and look for Vil picks, but the scout will surprise him, and he does need to deal with the archers, but I still think Slam will be okay. If he loses these skirmishers, he's still gotten quite a bit of value. In fact, he might even take out the scout with these skirms. And that's idle time, and also it could be kills for Slam on these archers. Barles has to run away from here.
Yeah, Slam is still in a really solid position.
Yeah.
Keeping his base really safe. But yeah, like you said, this might be the time for Barles to move out and try and get a tower up on Slam's base.
Yeah, I think if Barles at least gets behind the stone right now, it could be good. He sees a skirm, and he'll take that skirm for free. Slam got a lot of value, a lot more value than I expected from that forward. The skirms have done so much.
Yeah, also if you look at the eco, Slam is also a little bit closer to Castle Age than Barles is.
Yep. Now, I think the worry for Slam is that with scouts out, the skirms are not going to do it anymore. Not on their own, so... Oh, actually, there's a lot of archers here for Barles, isn't there? Slam had to abandon his stone. These skirmishers will be taken out. So yes, Slam will be up faster, but is the lack of map control worth it against Britons? I guess that's the question, because it'll be even more punishing once they get crossbow.
Yeah, I do see Slam adding a third range, so I feel like he might stick on like crossbow skirmisher play.
Yeah.
Because remember, Britons, they do have the production bonus on their ranges. I think it's 20%.
Yep.
And Slam is trying to equalize that with adding a third range to keep his production up as well.
Yeah, and Slam's doing well because he added archers to take out the scouts, and the skirms have armor. I think this is an awful fight for Barles to take. That's really good for Slam. Those archers should not have died there. I think instead Barles should probably have just backed up, waited for crossbow, and then maybe a few knights if he was worried about the skirms.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, this would be a good timing for Barles to take out the Tower of Slam, and that's exactly what he's going to do, because Slam didn't wall in those towers.
Yeah. Yeah, that tower at least, because I think that position is perfect for Slam if he wanted to siege push as Celts. But pretty close game here. It's hard to say who's winning. I think that Slam is going to be very happy with his safe walls, and 3 archer range production means the Slam will have good map control Belgium. One other thing, how frequent is it to see high-level players go for 3 ranges with Celts?
Not that frequent.
Yeah, it's a Slam thing, man. He did it in Hidden Cup 1. I remember we were trying to figure out who was who, and then I saw someone go 3 ranges instead of going 2 ranges and a Siege Workshop, or 2 ranges and a TC, and I think it can work against Barles here. It can help with the production, but it also could hurt against certain other names in the community.
I would have really liked to see Slam have a Vil already forward and build forward siege on Slam or on Barles, but it seems like he's not doing that.
Nope, not doing that. We have some archers alive, 13 archers. Will be crossbows soon for Barles. Slam, Barles has a few units around. These 2 archers, I guess he forgot about, and Slam will just get free kills. Slam will not complain about that at all.
I don't really get why Slam tried to break in on that side, because he knew that Barles had the tower there. So It's kind of wasted time of his army. I would have much rather had it on the front where the son from Barles was.
Look at the scouts. He's trying to send the scouts and the knights out, but they're in with the stone miners. That's hilarious. Oh my god. Oh, well, he realized it at least. That's comical, man. Oh jeez. Well, I'm really curious now who's going to be able to do damage. It looks like Slam will break through the palisade and try and push here. I guess he could run around the wood line. Okay, Barles will house wall. It's almost like both players are looking to go forward at the moment, and they both might not have solid defense either.
Yeah, exactly. And Slam his army might even get trapped in there.
Yeah. I see Slam.
He's losing quite a lot fighting under the tower in the TC.
He doesn't have armor yet. It's on the way. And that's a bit wasteful. And then also Slam on the front lost some skirms. I guess after that, Barles has that forward position. There's no siege in the center from the Celt player. And Barles has 8 range on his crossbows. So we'll see what your micro's like, Slam, because yes, you have skirms, but this is Barles, a fantastic micro player with more range. This is dangerous for Slam.
Yeah, it seems like he's going to clean it up.
Oh, man. Slam sent all of his military in to raid against 2 towers and a town center, and now he's trapped in there. So that army could die, and this will just snowball and get stronger and stronger and stronger for Barles. This is the dream scenario for Britons. You want to have high crossbow numbers in the Castle Age, and Slam just let him get there. People are saying I'm co-casting with you, by the way. So you're the caster now.
All right, that's fine for me. Yeah, well, Slam still has those skirms, but I think if Barrel sends one knight, those will get cleaned up.
Oh,
fairly
Slam is panicking, man. He's panicking. He sent 2 villagers back to stone. He clicked to go back to work hotkey, not realizing that they're going back to work where they should die.
And if you look in the back of Slam's base, he's making some T90 farms, so
yeah,
that's not good.
Yeah, that T90 farms are because of the pressure, alright? It's because of the pace that Slam is one of the fastest players and he builds farms like me. What does that mean, chat? But no, he's under pressure, and again, Barles just having a 1 knight and skirm there and running back and forth and microing. Slam is getting slaughtered, dude. This isn't even close right now.
Yeah, those knights have been really, really good, really solid for Barrels, just tanking up, killing the skirms.
Yep.
I think maybe now might even be the time for Barrels to be the one with the forward siege.
And as you say that, Siege Workshop on the hill. So, guys, Project Belgium, who's co-casting with me, very active player. Very familiar with the meta, right? Being active is so huge now, and before the series, I mentioned how Slam, he hasn't been as active as Barles, and we think that Slam is the better mechanical player. He certainly has the name, and I know there's a lot of people out there who are rooting for Slam in the chat, but is he on form? Like, he gave up map control, and there's been some sloppy mistakes. It'll be tough for him to push this back, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. And with his front getting pressured that much, not being able to have access to stone, you know, late game, Celts, their elite ward raiders are a solid unit, but if you can't get on them,
exactly. Yeah, these stones right here will be huge. And also with the cheap town centers, Barles could expand to a 3rd, which he is doing at home, so he'll catch up there. I love the 1 crossbow behind the wood line to annoy Slam and snipe a villager, maybe even 2 actually. And then the Siege Workshop's already prepped, so Slam, good luck pushing up this hill when Barles is going to have all those crossbows and Baganels soon. Sick micro from Barles.
Yeah. And I checked Barles' point of view because he actually hasn't scouted the main gold from Slam and the secondary gold. So imagine if he knows that. I think he might even switch his attention over there with some siege.
Yeah, that's true. That hill as well. I mean, it's definitely one of those maps where it's amazing for you if you secure the hill, but Slam gave up all map control by doing very little with his military at the start. Now he loves to micro, and he's hoping to micro and take out the crossbows here. This is why people like Slam. He's out microing the Mango with the skirms, so he can take out the crossbows. This is disgusting from Slam, dude. That was beautiful. It still wasn't the best fight he could ever take. He still doesn't have the best position, but there's not many players in the world right there that would take that fight willingly, and Slam did it. Crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Now with that secondary mangonel, I think it's going to be hard for him, but he's still going for it.
He's still going for it, but the problem is he can split. It looks cute and everything, but still Barles will have more reinforcements. Still Barles will have the hill. And did Slam take that fight because he felt like it was almost now or never, do you think? Like, no stone, Britons all over you with their range. I feel like he wanted to clean that up.
Definitely factor in.
Yeah.
But he probably needs his own
What?
castle.
Did he buy that?
Yeah, he must have.
He's been off stone. How much gold did he use to buy a castle there? Okay. He's not on stone anywhere. The castle might not even go up if he's not careful.
Will it be a that castle?
Slam, boy. Slam. It's at 75%. Oh no. He hasn't even added his own siege.
Yeah, that's been a really big mistake. I mean, his kills. They do have the better siege.
Yeah. I guess that goes up. And he's going to click
cleaning up the mangonels.
Yeah. But like, how much idle time was that right there? Slam is somehow going to click up to Imp, but my god.
And if you look at the Vil difference now, it's 20 Vils in favor for Barles.
Yeah. Yeah, and that castle also doesn't free up your stone. It also doesn't give you any defense on the left, where, whoa, Barles had a light cav, and Barles just broke in with a light cav, and now he sees the golds. Uh-oh, Slam. This is so bad for the Canadian.
Yeah, and immediately Barles sending his mangonel and his crossbows there.
Yeah.
Now the good thing for Slam is that he does have these 3 golds in his base. So even if those 2 get pressured, he can still fall back to the one in the back, and he's also heavily mining that one.
Yeah, I would say that when it comes to golds, he for sure had the better map. For sure. And you only have one area to secure, and it would be that stone, but he didn't do that. Barles is castling the hill, and he'll be an imp soon too. It's normally very difficult for Celts to switch from what they do in Castle Age to imp. What does Slam do here?
Yeah, you would say Ward Raiders, but on one castle, that's not really going to work out.
No, he's making a lot of skirms now. Celts lack Bracer. Do you know if Celts get the final armor upgrade? I actually don't even know.
I think they don't get that one as well.
Yeah.
So they don't even have the best skirms.
The point is, if Project Belgium isn't sure, and I'm not sure, it's that you shouldn't be going skirms with Celts.
Yeah, they don't. I just checked. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's really bad, and these crossbows are going to be arbalest with more range, and there will be trebs. This Slam somehow needs to find a way out, and I think maybe you take a risk and send some villagers elsewhere onto the map and hope you find extra stones or golds, and you for sure need to look towards some rams, possibly, with the skirms to push the castle.
Yeah, and if you're Barles, this might even be a spot where you could go for onagers.
Yeah. It looks like it. With the way his eco's set up, it almost looks like he'll click onager right now. Maybe? Very rare you see the Briton player going onager before the Celt player, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird to go onager against a Celt, that's true, but in this situation it would make sense.
He couldn't click onager because he wasn't an imp yet. He's now an imp. He is Bracer. Oh, nice attack round. He is Bracer, he has Chemistry on the way, and Arbalest.
Yeah, well, he will definitely get those ones first, for sure.
Once the upgrades come in, those skirmishers will actually die to archers as well. It's Slam. He knows it. He taps out. He calls GG, and Barles wins game number 1. Project Belgium.
Yeah,
Wow.
quite an upset.
Yeah, not expected. Slam was actually the 20th seed. A lot of people don't realize this. He was the 20th seed, and I think Barles was 12th. That would make sense, right? Let me double check there. Yep. So Barles, on paper, is better than Slam, and in game 1, he delivers a win. Do you think that Slam was super rusty there? Did you see jitters? Did you see signs that he might improve going into the next game?
Yeah, well, his start, like you said, he was definitely rusty, and I do agree with you that as the set continues, we will see him play better and better.
Okay, awesome. Well, Barles had more food, he had more wood, he had more stone collected. He had a bit less gold, but Slam had all the gold in the back of his base. Barles hit the right positions. Slam couldn't get to the proper composition. Slam will be regretting a lot of that there, and the person who many people thought would win this best of 5 has fallen behind. The next game could potentially be on 2 maps now. Slam has Gold Rush as one of his home maps, and he has Ravines. And so I'm not sure what he will choose, but this is the start of a great series because that's what I want, man. I want to see this go to all 5 games, and potentially upsets always good.
Yeah, definitely. It was just so weird that Slam never made Siege as a kill player.
Yeah, it just didn't seem... It didn't seem like what a high-level player should do in that situation. Let's put it that way. Is Slam just not active enough? Or did Slam just have a weird game 1? We'll see. Now, the next map is going to be Gold Rush. We can't see Aztecs or Mayans. We can't see Celts for Slam, and we can't see Britons for Barles. Without looking, do you have any guesses as to what civs might be picked here?
Well, I just looked, so...
Okay. All right, well, you just looked. I guess we'll just show the audience here, and we'll hop in, man. So let's do that. We'll 14, hop into the next game. I am so pumped to see the civilization that Barles has gone for. He has gone for Ethiopians. Nobody else has picked Ethiopians yet in the qualifiers. What are your thoughts, Project Belgium?
Well, like Ethiopians, they are a solid civ, but they do lack some ability. A lot of players, they do like to pick Britons on this map as an archer civ or Mayans, but I would say Ethiopians is still a solid one.
Okay. Yeah, so Ethiopians, they have the fastest firing archers in the game. They get plus 100 food and plus 100 gold when arriving to each age. And so that makes it a great archer civilization. And I think specifically because this strategy is common for Gold Rush, Drush or Militia in Dark Age into Fast Castle crossbows can be very good. And Spanish, that's a little bit more one-sided. And I would have guessed Spanish for Slam because I know Spanish is a civilization that Slam has played Gold Rush on a lot of rated games. And so Spanish normally are going towards Conquistadors. This is a close civ matchup. I really like this, Belgium.
Yeah, I do definitely agree with that. Something that's really good against Conks is a good range civ, and well, that's exactly what Ethiopians is. So it will be a battle, or at least it could be a battle, Conks against crossbows.
Yeah.
And then we would see Slam having the mobility advantage, and Barles would have, let's say, sort of easier advantage to mass his numbers.
His numbers,
so we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, you only need archery ranges to make the crossbows. Conquistadors, you need a castle. I think what could be interesting is if, let's say, Slam gets to Conquistador and then Barles has too many crossbows to deal with. I find that Maganel, Conquistador, is really hard to stop. And also, if the game goes on, you could even see Spanish go for Elite Skirm. They get fully upgraded Elite Skirm. So I feel like Ethiopians could actually struggle against full Elite Skirm and Conquistador if the game goes late. Map-wise, seems very even. For the Spanish player, they need a safe stone. The safe stone is in the back for Slam. He has a gold in the back. That's good. You see the gold here for Barles. That can be walled in and fine. Stones as well. I'm really happy with the HC3 Gold Rush because it's a lot less brutal than the ranked Gold Rush people are playing right now.
Yeah, I do agree. Like, you have done a solid job with the maps in general.
Yeah.
With the balancing.
Well, thanks. I just have the ideas, and then I just tell my map team the ideas and hope for the best, so they really deserve all the credit. But I've always loved Gold Rush.
Good job for them, then.
Yeah. And
so what do you think Barles is going to go for? I do. If I look at this map, I do think he could pull off some sort of a FC.
Well, does it make sense if your opponent's Spanish? They're probably going to go for a risky fast castle. And so if you gamble that they're going to full wall their base anyways, is it even worth making the militia? You could just wall yourself and go fast castle. So it's a bit of knowing that Slam will probably go to Conks. That might mean that Barles could wall his base, go fast castle without the militia. But then again, I guess Slam could always go scouts, and Slam could surprise you. So scouts and towers could always be a decent counter to that.
Yeah. Also, one thing to mention is that on this variation of Gold Rush, you do not have deer, so it could be a little bit more difficult to go for an FC.
Yep.
And Slam also has some sort of forward berries. So if Barrels scouts it,
yeah,
he might even try some sort of a feudal aggression, being it man-at-arm, tower, or just straight-up archers.
Yeah, if you want to drush any area, it would normally be the berries. But never mind, Slam is actually going for scouts here. He's going back to his bread and butter, so he's not going fast castle conks. He will be going for scouts, and then we see the barracks for Barles. Barles will go for a drush. All meant to delay and buy himself time. There's also no wolves massed in the center. So there's wolves on the side on this, but we removed wolves from the direct center, except for one, because it felt like it discouraged aggression in many ways. It discouraged going man-at-arms and forwards.
The one on the ranked ladder is a bit too brutal on the wolves.
Yeah.
If you want to go for a forward, there's a big chance that you get like 8 wolves in your face.
It's like, so one time I played a game, I correctly predicted what my opponent was going to do, but I didn't scout the center. And I was Spanish, and I went for a 5-vill tower rush, and I lost 4 of the vills to wolves. And it's like, yes, you could argue you need to scout it, but on the ranked ladder ones, there's so many wolves that you would have to walk an extra 2 minutes to get to your target to avoid them sometimes. So I think the devs, they've realized how fun the wolves can be, and so they're like, let's triple the wolves, you know, let's make it overkill, and it's a bit rough. But anyways, there's the stable for Slam. He will be making scouts. How good has Barles scouted here? Because he doesn't have... Did he just produce 1 militia? Was he going for a wolf rush?
Yeah, it seems like it.
It almost looks like he wanted to bring in the wolves. Maybe he didn't look at the version for the tournament because there's only 1 wolf in the center. Maybe he was looking for the side ones and just missed it. That's funny.
And has Slam actually seen the gold for Barrels? Yes, he does. So maybe if Slam sends like 5 vills forward and makes a tower there, could be dangerous for Barrels.
Yep. Yeah, so you get the scouts out. This is also something that really suits Slam. I was really surprised that he didn't pick a scout into Archer Civilization for game 1. Instead, he picked Celts because it didn't seem to be something he was used to, but he's used to this, and I think the 4 villagers are on the way. Spanish builders build 30% faster. That includes towers. So this is a greedy play from Barles. Can Slam punish this in time before Barles can be in feudal age and build his defensive tower?
Yeah, I think Slam will arrive when Barrels is like 90%.
Yeah.
But we do also have to include that he is Spanish, so his tower will go up faster.
It's so funny. I think that Barles genuinely thought Slam would go FC. Gambled a little bit, because if he's expecting scouts, you could go man-at-arms into archers. But you've gone for an approach which can work with Ethiopians really well, but also can be very risky, because you give up full map control, and great reaction time from Slam to realize he needs his tower.
Yeah. And I don't even think that Barrels will have the resources to click up. Like, yeah, we'll get another 100 food in gold.
Yeah.
He's only at like 500 right now.
Oh, and he places his tower immediately, which he should do, but Slams will be up way faster. Way faster. And it could even mean that Barles loses a villager or 2. Certainly delays him enough.
Yeah, like Slam, he will have only 4 villagers, but he just has to keep trying to repair that tower as long as he can.
Can he get 2 vills? Oh, he just got 1 villager. It was close, man. It was close. So yeah, this tower will go down for Slam eventually, but all he wanted to do was delay and keep Barles away from clicking up to Castle Age immediately, and that's what he's done. Like you said, Belgium, not the best build from Barles, only 500 food, 300 gold, and the militia was a waste earlier. So Barles even loses his scout there. I think Slam is looking very good right now.
Yeah. Good reaction by Barles to make a spear so he could send his villagers forward to bash down the tower. Right now, Slam can't really engage that because of those 2 spears.
Yeah.
Even takes a hit on those.
Yeah. Now, Barles is not on stone. Normally, you don't react to go to stone at this stage of the game if you're going for this strategy. You just make the blacksmith, make the archery range, and start making some archers and hope to get to Castle Age. So, no more defensive towers possible for Barles. This tower might not seem like the best for Slam, but it does deny some farm space, which can be helpful. Do you think Slam... sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and the tower will also give Slam a lot of vision where Barles' army is moving out, because it will almost give him vision across the whole front of his base. So if Barles moves out, his army, Slam will be aware of that.
Yeah, pro insight right there. I didn't think about that aspect of it. He doesn't really know what's going on the other side, but I don't think it'd be the end of the world to tower this wood line, because there's only so many areas that Barles could possibly take wood. I guess he's pretty good, but yeah, tower it, whatever.
No. Good thing for Barles is that he has really safe stone in the back. So in case he needs to make more towers, he will be able to do so.
Yeah.
Even stone walling off that side, so he's just playing it extra safe. I also saw that he made double palisade layer on the other side.
Yeah, super safe. And he's now on his way to the next stage. Now, your eco's a bit fragile when you go for this type of a strat. But Slam hasn't clicked up yet. Slam doesn't have defensive towers. Slam might need a few defensive towers. He's actually marketing and now towering the middle for later. That I actually like that, but maybe Barles could do something with this faster castle. Here comes some army.
I don't really know if I would agree with the tower. I think an outpost is just fine because the chances of Barles going for a castle in the center for the next 10 minutes is not really that viable. So I think an outpost would have sufficed.
Yeah, I guess it might have had something to do with the fact that he needs something to do with those vills. So they're now mining gold there.
Oh yeah, then it makes sense.
Yeah, so he might actually want to castle the center, which I think would be a mistake because he wouldn't be defended at home. But we'll see, guys. 60% of the way for Barles. Slam will see that the archers are on the way, but as of now, he won't have any answer to the crossbows when he gets to the next stage. Slam, he wants conks, but you could have possibly justified a skirmisher transition, which he didn't do, or maybe he just didn't do quite enough damage with his build in Feudal Age.
Yeah, exactly. I would have actually loved that idea better to go for a couple of skirms. Like, yeah, it would delay your castle time by a minute, but then at least you can clean up those forward archers and skirmishers or spears, and then you could even argue, do I want to go for elite skirms in Castle Age, or I can still go for conks?
No! No, there's a hole there. Well, I mean, this is not good. This is not good. The pike, you get the free pikeman upgrade. The archers are wedged in there. The tower's not helping. Slam is falling apart here. He has no military except for scouts right now. That hurts so much.
Yeah, I know how hard holes hurt.
That's true. You did. He had a couple holes in his walls versus Rubenstock. But man, look at the losses he just took. He's so far behind now. Slam. Oh, you've got to check that. Or you just have to make skirms. This could be GG right here because of that hole right there. Look at the micro from Barles. Fast firing. He'll kill more villagers. And more crossbows are on the way. Wow.
Yeah, Barles is in a fine position right now.
Yeah.
Even microing back, he will even get both of those fills, I believe.
Yeah, and Slam taps out. Slam calls the GG. Nobody expected 2-0 for Barles. Barles has shown up today, and Slam, again? Are we asking too many questions after his games? Because I think the reaction to go for the towers there was good. Thought that was fine. But he could have gone for one-range skirmishers, which is pretty common. Mopped up that group. Still would have, had some struggles against the crossbows from Barles. I agree. That would be tough. But at least he's alive then.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
I mean, it's just unfortunate that he had a hole, but yeah, like you said, the one-range skirm play would have been a lot more safe and would have also made a lot of sense.
Yeah. Well, guys, I spoke to a Polish player who's not as good as Barles, but you know, there's quite a few Polish high-level players, and I'm sure Belgium knows a few. And he said that he thinks Barles is in good shape, and that he thinks Barles would beat Slam. And here we are, 2-0. So he must have known that Barles had something special for us today. Wow, man! Like Slam is a confidence player too, Belgium. So if he goes down 2 games, I don't have a whole lot of faith that he can go for the reverse sweep mentally, but I hope he can. I hope he can climb it back. That game was such a landslide victory for Barles. Trust me, you don't want to see the achievements, guys. Ravines is the next map for Slam.
Yeah, a good thing is that he has another home map, so he will have some solid stuff prepared for that one. And let's see if he can make the reverse sweep happen.
Okay. So Ravines is the next game. Let me just triple check some things here and make sure the map's all good. Awesome. We'll just hop right in. Slam and Barles, game 3 in a best of 5. Loser is out of the qualifiers. Winner moves on to face Fire next weekend to get into the main event. And this is not Ravines. This is Slopes. I think we might have had a mistake on our overlay there, guys. Did we possibly read the wrong home map? Doesn't matter to me. It's an Indians war. I'll just change the information at the bottom right. I think overlay guy probably swapped the home maps by accident, because this would definitely have to be the home map for Slam.
Yeah.
So did you play on Slopes in your best of 5 versus Rubenstock? I don't think you did, right?
No, I did not. But I did play it a couple of times when I was practicing.
Yeah, okay. What are your thoughts on the map?
So I definitely think that Indians is the best civ on this one.
Okay.
You could argue that Mongols is also fairly solid on this one.
Yeah.
But if you would then stack up Mongols against Indians, it's just way better for Indians. And that's why you would pick Indians in the end.
Okay.
We did see some interesting laming on the series before, starting one with Nili's series where he walled in the berries.
Yeah.
Also, previous set we saw some deer laming. So let's see if they paid attention to the previous sets.
What's interesting about doing Rex is that they did not get to see how everyone else played. And it's in the main event for Hidden Cup as well. So all the games, just so people know, all the games were played a day or 2 before. They were not public, so the results were just sent to the admin, and then all the information was sent over to the casters. So that means that you need to prepare a strategy that you think works, and we've seen in the qualifiers players go for different civs and different strategies because they haven't been able to base other people's results. They haven't been able to look at other people's results, I guess, to make decisions.
Yeah. I was quite lucky because I played on Saturday and I was able to catch the series on Friday. And I played Cup and I noticed that you could build on the shallows, which I completely forgot about.
You didn't know that?
But yeah, seeing that one, I used it in my series to wall off from my dock to the TC.
Okay.
In the end, it didn't pay out, but
yeah,
it's still useful to see what your competitors have done.
How fun was it to play Rubenstock when he was Incas and towering you and attacking you with villagers?
Well, it was fun until he got in from the back. Let's leave it at that
Yeah. You're. It's like if you guys play in a different day, you win that 3-2. You guys were just so close. These qualifiers they're brutal, man. Now I want to point this out. So I played an Indians war against Slam on this map. It was his first time playing this map. And when Slam played, and when I was playing him as well, we both did what Slam did. He went for the early mill, and then straggler trees to get wood enough for a lumber camp. What every other pro has done has been lumber camp first and mill slightly later. So I found that slight difference interesting. Slam also, when we played, we went scouts, heavy scouts, into archers. And Slam went 3-range cav archers, and I went crossbow, and, well, it's Slam with cav archers, and I'm a caster, so I died. But I'm just curious to see if Slam has anything else up his sleeve, or how he plays this.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that we will see scouts for both players, but the question always is what will be the transition for them.
Barles, there's a TC there. That. Oh, okay. All right. You should know where the town centers are. You know a little bit about losing scouts to town centers when the TC positions are fixed, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Oh man, it's so rude of me, man. I have too much power. Just bring up people's failures. I'm bummed for you and for Daniel and so many others.
His scout didn't die, so yeah, he did take some damage, but
yeah,
not the end of the world.
So there's no surprises here, guys. You can wall in the middle. Players tend to do that. I think that expanding the eco is always important. Barles going for some crazy walls around his mill. He wants
Slam doing the same.
Yeah. All right. And both scouts are on the prowl around there, but Barles has a weak scout, so he could maybe snipe a villager, but I think it's unlikely that he would even go for it, even if the vills were exposed.
Yeah. And one thing to point out is that Slam only sent 3 villagers onto those shorefish while Barles did 4.
Yeah, I wonder what's better there. Obviously, you bring in more food if you're Barles, but then you have 1 more villager exposed, and sometimes transitioning your food eco away from the fish and onto farms can be important.
No. I definitely think that Barles is a bit overreacting with his really big walls.
A little bit. I think he might not want to have to look back at the vills. Sometimes if you go for more passive walls, the vills bump against the wood lines, so...
Yeah. So we see a stable from Slam, and Barles, he was a little bit late with his barracks, but he will get his stable up in an instant.
Yeah, you know what I don't like is Slam's main golds. That's rough, because you can't wall in this stone terrain here. The other gold's okay, but if Barles walls from that stable to the wood line...
Game, he could take that one, and maybe in Castle Age he could drop a TC on his main gold.
That's true, yep. But notice how early Barles is walling. He's playing really safe, knows how quick Slam can be, and I expect... This is kind of how I expected the series to go. Barles has a set game plan. He's going to execute in that game plan, and then it was all down to seeing if Slam's class and Slam's speed and how fast he can be would shine. So far it has not, but he could get a Vill.
Yeah, already 2 scouts. That one Vill is all alone. I think he could get her.
Needs 2 more hits, right? 1, 2. Got her. Nice. Ate a little bit of TC fire, but he has 3 scouts to 2. This is what Slam does. On open maps, this is what Slam does. And this is not what Barles wanted to deal with. This is why he was walling. It's just a hard map to wall early. There's so many choke points.
Yeah, and Barles did make a spear early on, but it's on the other side of his map, protecting the Vill walling.
Yeah. Alright, good early damage for Slam then. Somehow Slam is behind. And Vill... Oh, he went for really fast wheelbarrow. Wow, okay, so he went for fast wheel. Probably because he got housed or something. You see that sometimes where you don't want idle time at your town center, so you just research wheelbarrow.
Yeah, so you either get wheel or town watch.
Yeah.
Now there's a good amount of spears there for Barles, so Slam is just going to pull away.
Okay. And now Slam might be thinking about switching into something that takes out the spears. This is always a delicate balance, because if you switch into archers too early, the scout numbers of your opponent could overwhelm you.
Yeah, exactly. And archers would make a lot of sense in Slam's case. Like you said, there are spears, but also the wood line from Barles is rangeable by archers or skirms.
Yeah, I really don't like it when I see players build their first or second lumber camp on the side woods. I think if you have backwoods, you need to place it there like Slam did, because now he can't be ranged. Nice pick off there for Barles. I see Slam is already on gold at home, but that is vulnerable, so he did not go for the safer gold. In fact, he walled with the safer gold instead of maybe walling 5 tiles more to the left. So that could end up being questionable. So far, bit of action, 1 kill, 1 death, but I'm sure Slam is very tense. Barles, the pressure's off now. Up 2 games against Slam.
Slam is dropping down his first range. Don't see a range yet from Barles, but he's also on gold with 4 vills, so we might see that the same thing from him as well.
Yeah, it feels like there's more farms at the moment for Barles. But this guy has lost another scout. And if Slam starts mixing in some archers, it could be dangerous. Slam's incredibly good with scouts into archer transition.
Yeah, and it feels like Barrels, he's just going to play camels from what it looks like. Although, no, I do see him drop a range on the deer
Whoa.
on the left.
So that means he wants to take the deer. I don't think Slam's even thinking about that, but Barles, he might want that. That's interesting. What do you think of that? I feel like playing it how Slam played it is safer, and just forget about the deer at this point, because there's so many scouts out.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like once ranged units start coming out, it's really risky to take those deer. So just being satisfied with the shorefish is something I would also go for.
Yeah. This is funny to me. So Slam is almost out of his fish, and he needs escorts. He needs to escort these vills home. That means Barles is probably soon out of his fish. So Slam goes over to Barles, and he's just waiting for these vills to run through that gate, I can guarantee you. And Barles can't see it. He can't see the scouts. This is coming soon, Belgium. If he tries to send those vills home, this could really hurt.
Oh yeah.
Look at Slam. Look at him sitting there. That's amazing. He's also walling in his vills. Okay, Barles, the vills are idle. Check your idle hotkey. Shh. He's just waiting.
Slam, he can see one vill. Yeah, he knows.
I think does Barles know? Because for a second there, the scouts went to the palisade. If Barles was being attentive to that, that's pretty epic, I think. Yeah, he knows. He sees the spear now. Okay. but wait!
Now we do see...
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
We do see skirmishers coming forward from Barrels, also one archer. I mean, they might not kill them instantly.
And now we have archers from Slam as well! So they're just gonna trade bills. This is why you only send 3. This is why you only send 3. Oh wait, no, Slam's towering.
Tower?
I feel like it's better to lose the vills than build the tower. I don't know. Oh, and Barles is making a run for it with his villagers. What type of damage can Slam do here? He was on the wrong side. He's trying to get in front. He could hold the gate open with the scout. Hold the gate open, Slam. Hold the gate open with the scout. He is doing it. Oh, this is so messy. And the archers are coming in for Slam. And now Barles tries to build a gate. But dude, the skirms and the ranges and everything for Barles is not where it needs to be right now. This is ridiculous.
Exactly. He has no range support. Well, he did get up to Castlage, so he can pump out some camels, but Slam still has 2 spears there and a couple of archers, so even one camel could die to that.
That was so intense. Slam actually got his tower up. He lost 2 vills, but he killed more than that, and now Barles has to build a tower anyways. So I think Slam comes out on top if he can hold against what Barles has at his base. This is such an insane trade, and it is cav archers for Slam. I felt like he would do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly like you said.
Yeah.
3 ranged cav archers, maybe even a couple of camels. Yeah, he's producing 1 camel.
I can come off like kind of a judgmental caster when I say this, but the fact that I had to give Slam the map and it was the first game we played and it was just a few days ago, I kind of felt like he would stick to the strategy that worked for him. And so CA, I guess the downside of CA is normally it's huge commitment to military and not to economy, but it's not as if Barles can expand his economy because he towered. He doesn't have the stone for a TC, so I think Slam will love his position right now.
Yeah, exactly. He's keeping a couple of farms idle.
Yeah.
Barrels needs maybe 2 more camels and then he might be able to clean it. But for now, Slam is getting a lot of idle time, even getting a village.
Oh, and there was cav archers for Barles and they went to the gold and Slam was there to deny it. Man, like, who does this suit more? Slam, who's the fast player, who would probably prefer messy games with speed? Or does it suit Barles more, who has to deal with so many groups from Slam?
I think definitely Slam. He's a hunt player, so CA is his bread and butter.
Yeah, this is sick. 56 population for Slam. He has a 2 villager lead. Barles' wood efficiency is awful. He can't take that other lumber camp. You had mentioned going archers to punish that. Slam is actually going to that wood line, I believe. And yeah. Slam is, it's not great, but it's certainly better and more efficient right now.
And he has that little hill there that he's keeping, sending his camels and cav archer reinforcements there. So once those two armies meet up, he will definitely be able to have enough to clean up that army from Barles.
Yeah. 21 military versus 13, and I don't think just a few camels with low upgrades would be enough for Barles anyway. The Slam is looking...
Yeah, he only has the first defense, getting a second now, but... Yeah, it's tricky for him.
Man, these ranges, this archer range on the left for Barles looks so dumb now, I feel. It's completely out of position. He's not using it at all.
Yeah, he only got like two Vil kills with it. And that's about it.
This is just like Slam to dive in here. It's a bit risky. The final armor came in. It's just like him to go in and try and micro a bit. That will hurt though. Can Barles kill all the... Oh, the quick wall! Oh, the trap was beautiful! Oh, those units can't leave. Oh, the cav archers will die. That was a slick play from Barles. Well played.
Yeah, just what he needed.
Yeah. Damn. And now, Slam still has cav archers. I'm sure he's okay with this, but imagine if he would have been able to get out of there. Would have been so much better for him.
Yeah, you see Slam dropping a university. He doesn't have ballistics yet, but that will come in soon.
Yep.
It will help him deal with the camels.
Oh, the wood line. Barles is sending his units out. He wants a counterattack, but Slam is here.
And there's a hole. There's a hole even.
Oh, they overchopped. It's like, as Spring would say, these villagers want to die. That's what Spring would say. He's like, sometimes they just don't want to live. And Slam gets the win, Project Belgium. Wow, he needed that. It's definitely a confidence boost. And Barles might be a bit shaky after all of that. There was a lot going on there.
Yeah, this is definitely a game where we could say this is the time that we know.
Yeah.
He really pulled it back from those last two games.
Yep. Well, confidence boost needed for Slam. Slam lost on one of his home maps, Gold Rush. He now won on his second home map. Again, I think the information we might have up here is slightly wrong, but you see the correct maps anyway. Now we'll go to a map that Barles has prepared. There's the KD for you guys. Honestly, it's definitely one of those where looking at the statistics doesn't really matter. It's pretty clear that Slam was just able to hit the right spots. Those are the types of games that map produces, though, and no surprise to me that Slam picked a map that's as close to Arabia as you could get. Hey, Robo says the next map is El Dorado. This will be the first time we've seen El Dorado in Hidden Cup 3 qualifiers.
Yeah, and I played it once, and I know the changes to the map, and I really like it.
Okay, sweet stuff. All right, guys. So, sorry, go ahead, Belgium. I'm just getting too hyped here.
Yeah, I was just going to say that you added the water to it to make it an extra element of deepness.
Yeah. Well, if I can get my scoreboard to work for us and get all the information running, yeah, we're good. We can hop into the game now.
All right, perfect.
So, welcome, ladies and gents. This is El Dorado. This is the Hidden Cup 3 version of El Dorado. Two things I want to bring up right now. There's a bunch of different versions of this map. There's team game versions, there's ECL versions, there's Hidden Cup 1 versions, there's Hidden Cup 2 versions. And so we made a few changes. In previous versions, there was no water on the outer edge, so you have that option now. There's tons of shore fish and deep fish. In previous versions, I believe it was either 2 or 3 deep fish. And we wanted 3 because I wanted more food, I wanted more aggression, but 3 was bugging out the maps. So the map team added 2, but there's more food for fish, so it starts at 500. And then El Dorado, I guess, the rest of it, Project Belgium, you can tell the audience here what it's all about.
Yeah, so you can see both of them, they went for Chinese. Now, the reason that you go for Chinese on this map is that you start with more villagers. And usually Chinese is a civ that doesn't start with food, but since you have some deep fish underneath your TC, you can get that food up really fast and abuse your extra villagers and keep like maybe an easy 2v lead over your opponent who, if he doesn't have Chinese, would be 2 vills down.
Yep.
But yeah, both went for Chinese. So because like T90 said, there is water on the edges, you could go, it becomes even more complicated. Do I want to go for water? Do I want to go for land? Maybe a mix of both. So it's definitely going to be an interesting game.
Yeah, it's very tempting because the center gold and stone is always visible. Always visible. So that means you might invest into taking the gold, but I've seen so many cases where then someone wins the water or takes a lead when it comes to food and wood economy, or just runs around the middle and goes to your base. So the point is, there's lots and lots and lots of options, which I think is the theme on most of the Hidden Cup maps. We're not seeing many maps where it's just about one thing.
Yeah, and usually I've seen actually a lot of times that the player who goes for the center right away is usually the one that loses.
Yeah, it's a bit like the King of the Hill community games. You commit so many resources to securing the center, the other person waits for their moment and strikes. You're definitely right. Now, I haven't seen this before. I don't know what players are going to do on the new version of the map, because there's more food you start with. You have deer. You see a dock now for Slam. So Slam is going for a dock, and Barles is also going to dock the backside. Nice.
Yeah, so Barles going for that corner. So they are quite far away from each other, but I think we might probably still see some sort of a water regression.
Yeah, and Slam is looking for the dock. So since there's so many options, you don't know what your opponent will do. Slam is just confirming that his opponent has docked. He will see his opponent has docked, and now he knows that, all right, if I go Feudal Age, I need to make sure we get fire galleys out there. Guys, one thing I didn't mention, and I probably should have, players have 2 tiles of gold and 2 tiles of stone next to their TC. So you see it here for Barles, and then Slam, you see his gold. It's pretty close to the center already, and then he has the stone. I feel like Slam's wood lines aren't quite as good. There's this really oddly shaped wood line for Barles on the front, and he can wall more, but Slam's also closer to the center, so I don't know if that helps or hurts here.
Yeah, exactly. Also to point out is that Slam, his main gold is pretty close to the center as well.
Yeah. Well, I imagine we'll probably see the feudal click up soon. Slam is sending a Vil to the north. I wonder if he wants to dock there eventually.
Yeah, maybe he wants to go for 2 dock fire play, and he wants to have his second dock already closer to Barrel his fish. Barrels his fish. Also, docking the corners will give you a little bit of more fish as well.
I like the approach from Barles. I think he plays how you should play in tournaments, and that is safe, right? He's had 1 villager walling most of Dark Age. He scouted this. He now knows, all right, easy wall off. Let's protect ourselves. And then he might also go for a second dock. Whereas Slam, he hasn't walled or anything yet. He has a lot more confidence in his ability to fight without walls, but the second that you are not winning, that can hurt you if you haven't protected yourself.
Yeah, and we see both players going onto gold, so this will definitely be some sort of a water play.
How cool is this, Belgium, to be watching these two play, have it be so close, and have it not be the top 10 players, you know?
Yeah, that's why it's so nice. Like you said, there are a lot of players that maybe most in the chat don't know, but they are still solid players, and that's definitely what we're seeing here today with Barrels.
Yeah, this qualifier is pretty much like a tournament in and of itself, even though it's just qualifying for the main event. I think this will also give a lot of players a lot of confidence and probably energy, I guess, to push forward and compete again in whatever events might come. But Feudal Age for both. Fire Galley for Slam from one of his docks. He does not have the gold for
Do you see what I'm seeing at Slam's first dock? A fish trap.
What? What? Where? Slam's first dock? What?
Yeah, on his first dock.
That has to be a misclick, right?
Yeah.
That's 100 wood. And you have
and
fish.
And he had like his 3 fishers idle there for like 30 seconds because of course only 1 fish can work on that one.
What? Again, Slam is a great player. He's been great for years, but is he out of shape? Dude, I've never... Guys, that is 100 wood That gives you 700 food, slower than you would get food from all this other fish out here. That is really weird.
Slam got a villager from Barrels that was walling.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I was too focused on the fish trap. And that's good at least. And hey, I mean, if Barles doesn't get there, it's, I guess, paying for itself slightly. Will be scouts for Slam, and I don't see any stable yet for Barles. He's actually just now adding a barracks.
Yeah, and there was one fire galley from Slam and Barrels just passing, but now the second one connects with it.
Yeah.
So a slight HP advantage for Barrels on the fire galleys.
Yeah, I wonder, Slam definitely seems to be intentionally just passing. So does he just dive for a fishing ship kill?
Yeah, and also Barrels, he went for 6 fishing ships compared to the 3 of Slam, so that's a slight eco advantage.
Yeah, that's
Barrels
true.
also pulling away 1 fire galley because he knows I will have
A new one, yeah.
Reinforcements, yeah.
Yeah, this is good from Barles. I like how he's defended here. He's pulled this away to go forward, as you said, because he had a new one popping out. Wouldn't need it. And so Slam's invested into scouts, and Slam is also investing into a range. Alright, guys, so take a look at this. Take a look at this center. Slam has built that archery range in the middle, or close enough to the middle where Barles can see it. So there will be no surprises there. Barles has just gone for defense. This is pretty much what we saw in the previous sets as well. Barles is more defensive, Slam is more aggressive. Oh, Slam.
Slam losing a lot of HP.
Yeah, and a scout there. The scouts have done nothing for him.
Maybe even a second one. That one is 5 HP, I believe.
That's just a doink
even
away,
4.
right?
That's one shot.
Did he reposition that intentionally? There we go. Yeah, that's... I just like Barles because he plays safe, because he knows the map. He goes for the eco, and he has the extra fish right now. And so I would say slight advantage for Barles at the moment, Belgium.
Yeah, and he added even more fish since he knew that he won the water.
In the south! In the south! Does Slam not have water hotkeys? Dude!
Oh.
There's an empty transport ship!
But maybe it's the 200 IQ play that he will send his skirms over there and transport them behind the walls.
That would be a lot of IQ. That would be a lot of IQ. I hate to say this, guys, but this is what I think it is. He's only played lands maps.
Low Elo Legends? Or?
No, I don't know about low Elo Legends, but what if he's only played lands maps on DE, because he bans the water maps, he never set up water hotkeys, and so he's pressing his classic hotkeys, the hotkeys he was used to, but since he never set them up, he made a fish trap, and he made a transport ship. That is hundreds of wood wasted.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is.
And Barrels even countered that play by making an outpost all the way on that side of the map.
Slam is now going to dock down there. What? Is he really going to walk to the south when he could have transported the villager in the transport ship and got some use out of it? I'm so confused. And Slam, he's fighting for his qualifier life. He has 300 food, 100 gold. His scouts that he's just created, they won't do anything for him. And Barles, he's already on his way up. He's halfway there. This could be game over. It's exactly what it is. It's literally just never added water hotkeys. It's so sad, man.
And Barrels, he's heavily on stone, so I think he will just try and drop a castle in the center.
Which actually is a bit risky if he doesn't have a few knights or something else, because Slam does have some scouts out.
The good thing is that Slam doesn't really have archers out.
Transport.
Oh, but the fire galley is there. The fire galley is there.
Whoop! There we go. We're in, boys. Worth it. Totally worth it. And dude, it is worth it because he has to abandon all of his farms and his woodline. How much is this going to delay him? If Slam wins this game...
Yeah, that's like 15 villagers.
If Slam wins this game, I'm going to lose my mind. He has no business winning this game. He doesn't have the hotkeys to compete in this tournament, apparently. But Slam, there's a hole!
A hole?
No way! Barles...
And he has bloodlines on those scouts.
Dude, the funny thing, what cracks me up about this is what Slam did was so dumb, honestly, that Barles would have never expected to counter it. Like, Barles had water and everything. So he never expected it in a million years. And it's working, but here come Vils. Here come Vils. He has the stone. He could castle. And Slam's scouts are now trapped in here.
You cannot see them yet. They're just outside of the fog of war.
Yep. Slam is so close to clicking up. By the way, Slam has been fishing in the north. And I guess he's going to add fires in the south. So maybe if Barles is really distracted... Okay. Okay, there's the castle. What does Slam do? Skirmishers and a spear. I think Slam has to let it go up. He can't stop that.
Yeah, I don't think he can deny it.
But at least he can still take gold. So, it might be tough if Barles goes siege in Chukunu, but it does seem like Slam can still run around and be a pest with the scouts and the skirm and the spear in Barles' base. He might idle more villagers. This is actually winnable for Slam. Kind of.
Yeah, and he still has his stone, so if he wants, he can still drop a castle for himself.
Yeah, or a town center maybe, just to protect the front. Wow. I think right now, what Slam really needs is he needs value, and he needs value from these scouts and skirm. It sounds silly, but Barles is committing to the center, and he still hasn't cleaned up everything in his base. So I think that has to happen. Barles is so distracted, though. He still wants to fight on water. And then he will have to somehow try and pressure Slam on land.
Yeah, and Slam is repairing his weak fire galleys on the bottom. He has 4 fire galleys there, so once he gets castle age, those will be 4 fires.
Dude, this would be just like Slam to somehow win this. No
Yeah,
hotkeys,
exactly.
no problem. Who cares? But he's obviously...
Random fish traps, random transporters.
Barles has seen it too. Barles is looking for fish to snipe. If he looks at what he scouted, he could see the fish trap. Which, at this point, has he refreshed it? Or, no, I guess it's so slow, he has 500 food remaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 800 in total, so...
Oh my god! Now, the forward siege workshop is the problem. Slam! 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 What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, builds a tower on his gold. That was rough, man. Not only did he lose units, but he lost HP. Come on, Slam. Use the scouts. They have bloodlines. He could kill Vils with this force here. This is like an AI army. The AI army from Slam.
A bit of everything. Some spears, some scouts, some skirms.
Yeah, it's on stand ground too. He's not on attack stance. Because he's focused elsewhere. He could take out the fish for Barles in the back. He's chasing the fish in the north too.
Yes.
What is happening? Project Belgium, explain this to me. I need help. I don't understand what we're seeing.
I cannot explain this one as well. You would need like 5 co-casters to try and explain this one.
5 go-casters. We have to bring in everyone. We need Dave, we need Belgium, we need Hera, we need the moms. Everyone. Oh my god. Like, a big problem for him still is the fact that he cannot take gold easily. I don't know how you really change that either. But at least he has done solid damage on the food eco.
Yeah, and also his Slam, he did get guard tower. So if Barles wants to push with mangonels, that's going to be a lot harder for him.
Yeah, this could be difficult for Slam, but while Slam doesn't have his water hotkeys, he does know how to micro really well.
Slam is losing villagers on the front because his gold ran out and they auto-targeted the center.
Oh. Well, at least he reacted to that. Yeah, he's out of gold now. I mean, he could maybe shift to the south. Well, after all of that, according to our fancy overlay here, Barles has 52 villagers, over 46. That includes fish and chips. Slam could add fish, but again, I'm just wondering what you do in this situation without the middle.
I guess the only way to try and win this one is to raid your opponent at his base.
Raid them, yeah. He lost his fish. He lost his fish trap. F's in the chat for F trap. Uh-oh. Was that you cringing or laughing at my dad joke?
I think a bit of both.
It's alright. I've come to expect it. Chuko knew a knight and a few mangonels. 71 population for both. I so hope that Slam brings this back. It's just, without the gold, Siege
Yeah, it's going to be
Shukunu
hard.
is so hard to
Yeah.
kill. Yeah.
Shukunu or Siege Knight, it's going to be hard for Slam.
Yep. And it's all about the early mistakes. If you played a bit smarter, if he had his hotkeys in the early game, then maybe that castle never goes up for Barles. But Barles was in such a good position to get the castle up. I think this is really the area we have to focus on. Nothing else. The fish is important. But if Slam loses his stone too, if he can't somehow find an answer to this, it's not game over, it's series over for Slam. Oh, the splits from both.
You make excellent value out of every gold unit he has.
Yeah.
So he cannot afford to trade mangonels 1-for-1 because he has to buy that gold with, or he has to sell resources to get that gold.
Wow, and Barles is showing us that he knows how to micro as well. Slam is getting destroyed here, guys. He did not have excellent value with his gold units. He had awful value from his gold units because Barles out-microed him. Now Slam doesn't have gold, Slam doesn't have stone, and Slam taps out. Barles beats him 3-1 and will face Fire next weekend in the qualifier. Wow.
Yeah, well.
Okay, so first off, this game, I think it showed us that Slam was not prepared. Like, Slam is a great player, but you know who had a game plan for every game? Barles. You know who made less questionable decisions? Barles. And this game was actually the clearest example, as clear as it can get. The hotkey issue, which I assume is what happens. The lack of prioritization on the middle. Slam just didn't look like he was tournament ready. Barles,
No.
the practice paid off.
Yeah, like Barrels, he just played safe. He just played his game solid, and yeah, Slam, he was just sloppy on some sort of on some stuff.
Yeah.
And Barrels capitalized on that one.
Yeah. Well, Barles had more food in the end, even losing some of those fishing ships. I think it was just the recognition that you could add more fish early. Slam only went 3. Barles went 6. He lost them eventually, but he brought in so much food with them. And then obviously the stone and the gold, which is the focus on El Dorado. Slam, when he was focusing on the water, he had already lost the middle, which is arguably more important. Not the longest game, and not the result that we expected here today. Barles will move on to face Fire. So based on what we've seen here, obviously Slam was a bit shaky. What are your thoughts on the chances for Barles against Fire in a best of 7?
I think I would give Barrels 20 or 25%, something like that. 20 to 25%.
Do you think that Fire is happy that Slam is not against him? Or do you think he's sad that he has to face Barles? Like, do you think who there's an easy way to say this. Who do you think Fire would have rather played? Slam or Barles?
I think actually, like, skill-wise, they're pretty close.
Yeah.
But Fire and Slam, they have been teammates for so long, so Fire will definitely have a solid grasp how Slam plays more than Barrels does.
Good point.
So
yeah.
So he might be happier that he plays, or he might be sad that he doesn't play against Slam, and then he probably is also sad that his old teammate didn't make it through.
Well,